Welcome back to the pregame. Time now for our Full Wider Insurance Agency talk with Coach Butch Pedersen. And Butch, coming off of the Week 2 loss, you head up to Jessup. A little bit of a soggy night. Didn't bother the team. Came out and seemed like they really got back to basics and got back on the winning track Friday.
There's no question about it. I think that we won that football game on that Monday after our loss to West Burlington. We had a real eye-opening experience where we talked to the kids, or I talked to the kids pretty straightforward, and to the coaches as well, and to myself as well. I basically challenged everybody to rededicate themselves. That wasn't what I felt was a West Branch football team, the way we were playing or the way that we were coaching, and I think everything changed immediately that day, and I think you could tell the results on Friday night.
Well, it says a lot that the kids are willing to accept a loss, accept some criticism, coaches as well, and be able to put it into practice in basically 3 days worth of practice.
There's no question about it. You know, we want to be good. We've had a great program here for a long, long time. We continue to have a good program, and you know, we had 6 sophomores and 2 freshmen play that night. And we're not using that as an excuse. I'm just telling you that it's going to take a while, and I've mentioned that before. But that night I thought was the first time that we played all year long where we really gelled as a football team. We had each other's backs, and I really saw our program really grow up that night.
Well, and you look, it all starts, I mean, you've talked about this since 1983 when you came, defensively. You had a fumble on the opening drive. First 4 possessions of the second half resulted in turnovers. Aside from that, really shut down a pretty decent Jessup squad. That defense was very opportunistic and really flew to the football on Friday.
Yeah, they did. They knew their assignments, and we got after people. And that's the name of the game. You have to gang tackle. You have to run to the football. And when you get to the football, you have to arrive in a very nasty manner. You can be nice off the field, but on the field, you need to be an animal.
Well, and it shows, too, you know, the importance of team because, you know, you were getting some pressure from the defensive line. The backers were doing things the right way. The secondary made some nice plays, some nice reads on the balls. And so, you know, when 11 guys work together, it's one very cohesive unit.
It's not hard to figure. We've done this for quite a few years. If they listen and do what they're told, we'll put them in position to make plays, and then they need to make the play when they get there. But I thought the defensive secondary broke to the ball better than they had all year long. We dropped a couple picks that we should have probably had, but we're breaking to the ball now, and we're continually working on our front 7, and they're getting better all the time. And we're going to have to be because Maquoketa Valley is a very strong-oriented run team, and they also have the ability to throw the ball to keep you honest.
When you look offensively, first drive, you take the ball down, get it into the end zone. Couple of miscues throughout there. Take us through the sequence, though, where they turn the ball over on downs, able to get 2 plays and a touchdown in the final 15 or 20 seconds. How important was that going to the locker room?
Well, I thought that was a huge part of the game. You know, with 1 second to go, Brandon hits Kabi in the corner for a touchdown, and that really takes the momentum out of your opponent when that happens. They were, instead of being down 7-0, they're down 14-0, and I thought that was huge, a huge turn of events.
How important was it, too? Because, I mean, like we said, Week 2, we saw the offensive line looking for some things, still trying to find themselves, and you could see maybe a little hesitancy through that first quarter and a half or so, but it seemed like from that point on, that second half, they really started to take control.
We tell them, you want to pin your ears back and pretend like your hair's on fire, and that's exactly what they did. They started getting after people, and they played to their potential, and I thought that was the first time really that the offense had played their potential, and it was a nice situation because we just lost our quarterback, stuck a new quarterback in there, and we were kind of, some people thought we might be in trouble, and I'm not sure that I wasn't even one of them, to be honest with you, but we had some people step up. Javier did a great job kicking, and 5 for 5 in extra points, and Angle kicked extremely well, and that's kind of the I guess the key to our program has always been step up when it's your turn and fill that spot, the next person in kind of thing that Ferentz calls it at Iowa, and that's what we did that night.
Well, and you mentioned Javier. I mean, he was, borderline one of our players of the game because you look at the difference that it made in that Week 2 loss where the special teams really played an impact in the game. And when you're having Jessup start inside their own 25 multiple times, not only is he kicking well, those guys on that kick coverage are getting down there and making the plays.
We made a whole bunch of changes on the kickoff team, and we put more starters, quite frankly, on the kickoff team, and I don't see any reason to change that. And I think you're right. The position that we created that night with our kickoff team was very, very good.
Coming in here tonight, back at the Little Rose Bowl, Maquoketa Valley comes in, and this is a team, they were Class A the last few years, back up into 1A this year, and it's a squad that, I mean, they've got some tradition. They're a historically pretty good program, and they're going to come in and look to play some smash mouth football.
Well, they're undefeated. I mean, that speaks for itself. I believe they're undefeated, and you have a team like that come into your house. You want to take advantage of that, and we have an opportunity to right that thing and give them a loss, and that's what we're trying to do.
Well, it's going to come down to how those guys can work together as one big unit, Coach. We're looking forward to it. Thanks very much for joining us.
Well, thank you.
That is head coach Coach Pedersen. His talk brought to you by Full Wider Insurance Agency. Back with more of your pregame right after this. This is the Bearcast at westbranchfootball.com.